We're Outlander Media Network. We're live at the Signal in Chattanooga, Tennessee. I'm with Bobby Amaru. The lead vocalist.
Brady is close though, man. You're in the ballpark. I've heard it all.
The lead vocalist for Saliva. We're going to have a good show tonight.
Yeah, it's almost sold out, man. If it's not already, it's all these shows have been good. Hinder's been great. The whole tour's been good. We've had some really, really good shows. Last time we were in Myrtle Beach and it was slammed there. House of Blues. Good. So.
Yeah, this is going to be my fourth time seeing you guys perform.
Okay. Great.
The only reason I remember you so well is I did a VIP show one time with you guys.
Oh, like a meet and greet?
Yeah, a meet and greet. It was when COVID had just ended. It was in Maryville, Tennessee, at a place called
Chet. I love that place.
The place is awesome.
Yeah, I want to play there again. I heard that they got a different book promoter, guy that's running it now or whatever. So that's what I heard.
Yeah, I mean it's a great. I had a blast at that show.
Let them know we want to play there. They were great to us.
Yeah, because I remember last time when we did the meet and greet. Somebody had COVID that day and they couldn't even do it that day, I believe.
No, so
or somebody was sick.
Wayne wasn't there. Wayne had COVID because I had COVID. I was getting over COVID, and that was one of the shows back. And I remember I still had brain fog, but I wasn't sick anymore. But I had brain fog for a month or so after, and Josh, the guy playing with us now, he filled in. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he filled in that night. There was a couple shows because Wayne got it after me, but yeah. So I remember that. That was a cool show.
Yeah, I mean it's one of the most fun venues. It's indoor, it's outdoors, but it's also indoors because you don't have to worry about the weather if the weather takes a turn for the worse.
But the people were good. It was good people, good vibes all around. The fans were great. It was good. So we'd go back anytime.
Yeah, the other two times I've seen y'all, both with Blue Ridge.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, we did Blue Ridge twice. Well, actually a couple times, yeah.
You were supposed to do it 3, but the second one was the time when the storms come through, and we were all hiding underneath trees at that one. I'll never forget that one.
Yeah. Oh man, I remember that. Yeah. We didn't get to play, but it's all good, man. Blue Ridge was fun, while it lasted.
Yeah, we were there for the epic final show, or the final festival, when it was when it got out of hand.
Right.
But it's we learned I did an interview here not too long ago, and this guy that used to, his name was Mr. Gibbs, used to do Scribble Fest, which was a hip hop festival, and he would tell me, well, I was lucky I made $500 at the end of the festival because he was independent.
Oh, yeah, it's a lot out and not a lot coming back in. I mean, the thing too with Blue Ridge, I think the guy John, and I love John. John's great, and he is a very, very good organizer. I think sometimes you just end up where you have it can really hurt if it's not in the right place. Venues, everything, because people want to have accommodations and things nearby or whatever. So when you try to do those kind of festivals in the middle of nowhere, it's really tough logistically for 50,000 people to show up a day. And when they'll show up, but it's you gotta bus them in, you gotta do so many things, and there's so much on the logistical side to run a festival and operate a festival that people think, oh, you just book the bands.
No. Oh no.
It's a year of planning, more, so.
And the thing is, the guy was telling me, he said, you start planning your festival as soon as this festival is over and you're going to next year to get ready for, and he said that's how long it takes to do one.
Yeah, they do that. And I think Blue Ridge was doing it right, with how they booked the bands, and they catered. They were very cool to us when we played, and everything was great there. I think just, the fans felt like with the storms and stuff, you can't help when the weather happens. There's really nowhere to go because you're already out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, the problem was the evacuation.
Yeah.
We were at the final one, and the evacuation was the problem. We were stuck for.
You can't just go to your hotel, right? You know, there is none.
Couldn't.
There's none,
Well, you couldn't go to. You couldn't get shuttled off the property. We were stuck for 4 hours trying to get off there.
Yeah.
That was the problem, and I'm understanding on that. I like John and I like Todd. I like both those guys. Those guys were great.
Yeah.
I had no problem with them. But, it happens.
Mm-hmm.
So when y'all did Blue Ridge 4, it was Blue Ridge 5.
Mm-hmm.
You had you started off with the lead, then the former lead singer, Georgie Scott.
Yeah.
How was that? With the two of y'all switching in and out.
It was cool, man. I mean, it was something that actually John had reached out to me about the year before. When we kind of tossed it up, and initially seemed like a decent idea, a good idea, and it just didn't work out that year, plan wise. And we were doing other things too. It just didn't line up. And then he circled back again, and then I think Josie was starting to do stuff too, like more solo stuff at that time. And so it made sense, to do it. And we did, and it was cool, man. It was good for the fans that were there to see it and experience that. And we did it was like the first 30 minutes, and then he came out and did 15 minutes.
Yeah.
It was good. So
I mean, my preference is you, by the way, because I prefer you as the lead.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, I don't have any sort of.
Oh, I have no.
Yeah,
I mean,
I've always
if I about which one I prefer,
Thank you.
I always loved your stage presence.
I've worked hard and continue to work hard, and I think that that's what it's really all about, man. And when you have a career in music, when you stop working hard and you just start taking it for granted, and sometimes people just get out of. And I'm not saying anyone in particular, but you end up on get addicted to other things, and or other things are taking the your attention away and stuff. It's tough, to just focus just on music. Especially when you have families and stuff. I have family first for me, but you also, when you're doing this for a living, it's your job, and you're you want to make sure that you're giving it all you got for the fans too, because they won't come back. If you're like suck live, and or they feel like it's you're not being honest or real, you're one and done. So
and the thing is, and one thing I do like about you guys, y'all came out with a new album, Revelations, and great album.
Thank you.
I hope you're going to perform a lot of it tonight, because it's a really good album.
Yeah, we've been that was a record that we worked 3 solid years on, for the most part. Like, we had 35 songs recorded, and we picked 12 at first, and when Wayne passed away, we already had a lot of vinyl in motion and stuff, and then we pushed the release date back, and I wanted the record to get the proper attention, and I think it was just a tough time, so we decided to re-release it, add some new songs to it, and just give it fresh perspective, because I do think the songs lyrically do connect with people. I get countless messages and stuff from people about it, and it's about a lot of my struggles and a lot of my addictions and things that I went through, and been sober now 6.5 years, and it's changed my life. And so we started writing it during COVID, and I was able to reflect a lot on the things I was going through at the time, and writing about it and stuff, and whether it's toxic relationships or toxic internal things with myself.
And being sober is a big thing. Like I said, I just celebrated 20 years clean.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Back in November 23rd.
Yeah.
I always mention that day. And, I came to work that day, and I had this shirt with my mug shot on it, where I'd sunk the new lows way back in the day. Mm-hmm. And I had that, I work around a long-term care facility when I'm not doing this. And a lot of people said, I've been in jail, and I've done this. You know, look where I'm at now. And I'm like, yeah.
And thing is everybody, like, I don't walk in your shoes, you know, you don't walk in mine. So I never judge, and I always just try to, you never know what someone's going through, right? And I think that what worked for me might not work for somebody else.
Exactly.
But you have to, I think the thing that it does start with you wanting to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah, because someone can say they want to, but you really have to put that, I think once you get past that stage, when you put the effort into wanting to give it up, and you know, you can see the other side.
Yeah, my parents always said, we knew you'd do it eventually. I said, no, you didn't.
Yeah.
You gave up hope on me. Let's be honest. But it came that day, and you're right. You have to want to.
Yeah.
And one day it just registered on me. I said, I'm doing
Yeah,
it.
sometimes it does take a moment, some sort of a tragic moment or whatever. Unfortunately, I mean, there have been times I've seen, like, you know, sometimes somebody, you know, gets in a crash and kills somebody, and that's what makes them stop.
Well,
or it doesn't.
We were supposed to have an interview with an artist one time. I didn't say who it is. It was because he passed. And it was Shifty from Crazy Town.
Right.
And we went to talk to him. And I could tell, I was like, oh my God. Because I met him a bunch of times. But then when I met him at this one concert, and it was right before everything went south and they got in that fight with each other in the band.
Yeah.
It was all over. It was like 3 days before that show hit.
Yeah.
And you could see where this was going. And I felt so bad, but there was nothing I could do to help the man. You know, it's like you could give him advice, but he ain't listening.
The guy playing with his guitar right now, Sebastian, his dad was the guitar player for Cinderella, Jeff LeBarn. Sebastian was playing with Tantric, I think, on that tour. Sebastian filmed that fight. That was his video.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And Sebastian is like, when you meet him and you talk to him, he is not on drugs. He's like the most like normal, like, you know, guy or whatever. But that video, when you watch it, it's sad because you see exactly what drugs do to people, right?
Yeah.
And it causes toxic situations and confrontations and things, and you know, because it's making you do shit you probably wouldn't do if you were sober, you know. And, but yeah, you know, they, you know, it's a bummer that, you know, he wasn't able to, you know, find the help and get the help. And I know he tried, you know, there were several times he tried, you know, and it's just, it's tough, you know.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
And, you know, you say take them for granted. You know, it was a big deal when y'all lost Wayne. Y'all lost Wayne on tour.
Yeah, we were like five days into a tour, and you know, Wayne like was rock and roll for life. You know, he always said he would die on tour. You know, that's kind of how. But you know, the way it went down was totally unexpected. I guess you never expect something like that until it happens, and we miss him every day, and I learned a lot from him being around him, you know, as long as I had, you know. And he was, one thing I will say about Wayne that was so great was he never talked bad about anybody. You know what I mean? You know, people will have conversations and they'll say something bad about somebody or whatever. And I would always like watch how he would react to that, and he would always just kind of, he just change the subject. I always loved that about him. Like, he never would be like, you know what, that's that guy. Like, Wayne was never like that, man. He was good about, and I think that I learned a lot from him in that regard of just taking the high road. Somebody talks crap about me or says something bad about me, I'm just like, okay, whatever. Yeah, I could, like, you know, blah 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 back or whatever. But what does that really get me? You know, it doesn't really do anything. People are gonna have their opinions. They're gonna say what they want. I think he was old school. You know, he was, you know, touring, you know, in the '80s when I was a toddler. So, you know,
Well, one thing I learned, like I said, when I you know, this one guy told me that when you point that finger at somebody, there's gonna be 6 pointing right back at you. Is what he always told me. That's why I'm always careful what I say around folks.
Yeah.
You know, because you know, nobody's perfect.
No.
By any means.
No.
And I've learned to change the subject whenever I get somebody I can tell they're uncomfortable. Even I know when to change the subject now.
Yeah. But you also you have to, being in the music industry, music business, you got to have a backbone too, and you can't let people take advantage of you because there's people taking advantage of you every day.
Oh yeah.
So, you got to control what you're doing and take control of, your brand and the situation overall, because
I mean, one of the bad things now is, you have to tour if you're going to make it as a musician. That's what I always tell everybody. You gotta tour because it's not like the good old days when people went to the record store and bought a CD or an album or a cassette, because everybody's, if you put a show out there or put an album out there, they've already put it on YouTube before you know what happened.
Yeah.
That's how quick it is.
Well, you want to be good live then, if that's
Well, Bobby, we're going to wrap this up, and I've enjoyed talking to you, and we can't wait for the show tonight.
Awesome.
And we'll be with it Saliva, with Hinder, and King Collapse tonight.